So hello everyone and welcome to our short demonstration of Xapsys CRM. My name's Jack and I'm the Sales Director for Xapsys. If you have any questions at all about today's demonstration, please don't hesitate to get in touch afterwards. I'd like to start out by quickly explaining what Xapsys CRM is and who it's for. So we set out to create a simple and easy to use CRM that requires minimal training and deployment time, but while also retaining a rich feature set that satisfies the needs of most of our customers straight out of the box. It's aimed at companies that don't want the hassle of complex and often expensive on-premise solutions and just want a nice cloud-based CRM system that integrates with their Sage 50. So, what can Xapsys CRM do? Of course, it keeps track of customers, prospects, and suppliers. It can log all communications because it integrates with Office 365 and Gmail for automated email importing and meeting scheduling, things like that. It can track opportunity progress and stages. It can create quotations, pro formas, and sales orders, including generating the PDF documentation to send out to customers. It will also track stock and customer pricing for orders depending on what price band they're in, and there's an option to manage any issues with these orders with our cases functionality. We have a completely customizable reporting dashboard system which can report from multiple data sources, and it does everything I've just said while syncing all the important data with Sage 50. And because we support Sage 200, there's a clear upgrade path for customers. The experience is also customizable with external services, connectors, and custom code embedded into pages, so resellers can have the finishing touches for their customers. And it's important to note that because our CRM is new to the market, we're constantly releasing new changes and updates, so more Sage products will be supported and plenty of new features. So your feedback is very important to us. So again, please don't hesitate to get in touch, because if there's a feature you know a customer would like or you'd like, we may be able to make it happen for you. Anyway, as we are short on time, let's jump right into the demo, starting with creating a company. Now, one of the first things that we noticed when doing our research into CRM systems is a lot of people, when they just wanted to add a lead, didn't want to go and fill out loads and loads of fields. So what we've done is we integrate with Google Maps, so you can search for the company name. It's going to go ahead, find that company on Google Maps and fill out all the important info for you, so the phone numbers, the website. It's going to get their address as well. Now, the defaults down here for things like tax rate and currencies are set for the user defaults. The only thing that the user really has to fill in is probably the segment and the source of where the prospects come from. This financial information will sync back to Sage 50, so when your accountants update things like the credit limits and the payment terms, those are going to sync back to CRM as well. As this is a prospect, this isn't going to sync into Sage 50 to keep Sage 50 nice and clean. If we did want it to sync across, we would just go ahead and fill in an account number, but we don't need an account number to do quotes, so we're going to leave that for today. So that's it, that's all the fields I'm going to check. I'm just going to save that company. And what that's going to do now is it's going to take us to the company overview screen. The first things to note here are some more financial information that will come from Sage 50 or other accountancy packages, just to give a good overview of the position that the client is in. Also, custom fields will allow the resellers or even the end users to tailor their CRM package to them. Just for an example, we set up one earlier called number of employees, but these could be any sort of thing, checkboxes, predetermined lists, or just free text fields like this one is. So we're going to pop a value in there. Some of the other things that you'll notice on this page is you'll see a summary of their recent opportunities, a list of all their recent quotes, pro formas, and orders, any recent communications with anyone in that business, and any recent problems or cases. Also, you can add delivery addresses, upload different files, create notes, and customer contacts. So nice and simple. It is important to note at this point that you can go ahead and create a sales order directly against a company. You don't have to go ahead and create opportunities, but for the purpose of this demo, we're going to jump in and create an opportunity. So press for CD-ROMs. I'm going to also create a new contact for the person from this screen, and I'm just going to go ahead and fill in my own details. So we'll save that. We're going to give it a certainty and a forecasted value. And these stages, again, are defined by either the end users or the resellers. So if a company has a really strict process, the really well-defined stages, these are great tools because you can also add in certainties against each stage and that's really good for forecasting at a later date, which we will touch on. So I'm going to save that as our new opportunity. And again, you'll see the custom fields box, which means we can have custom fields of anything from people to orders and opportunities. And we've also got, again, the ability to upload files, notes, and see their recent quotes and pro formas against this opportunity. First thing to touch on is the option to log activity. So if they've phoned in or you've called someone out, you can log that manually, and you can control all of this manually. But because we integrate with Office 365, I'm going to go ahead and connect my account now, and I've not connected it before for the demo, just to show you how easy it is to do it. So I'm going to click connect, click accept, and that is going to link my Office 365 account. So back to the opportunities we've just made, and now's a good time to touch on our Kanban or pipeline feature. So here are the stages that have been defined by the users, and you can see the one we've just made. Now, because this stage has got a 10% certainty, we've got that weighted forecast for the value. If we move it along and the certainties go up, you'll see that weighted forecast at the top right change, and that's a summary of all the different opportunities on this pipeline, all the way up to 100% down at the contract signed. It's also worth noting that we can win or lose from here, and if we do lose one, you'll see a list of reasons for loss. If we win one, that will set it to 1, but what we have set up at the minute is as soon as you convert a quote to an order, it's going to update our forecast and automatically set it to 1 for us. So I'm going to leave it as we were. So let's go back into that opportunity. Now, what I'm going to do is import an email from my Outlook, which is just someone requesting quotes. So I'm going to hit import, and because I've connected my account, that's going to bring up my inbox. So when I hit import, it's going to sign that email to the opportunity, but it's also going to look into my inbox for related emails from that person or that conversation chain and import all those as well. And we have a constant background sync running, which is going to bring in multiple different emails. So you can manage your client entirely from Outlook. There's no need to do it from CRM and use multiple different systems. With our Office 365 and Gmail integration, we've also got things like meetings and tasks. So if I sync it with calendar, that's going to create a meeting. I'm going to set it to say half an hour and just a meeting to discuss the quote. So I'm going to save that, and if I open up my Outlook, you can see that's come through at the top right. If I pull my calendar up, you'll see that's gone in half an hour right now. If I want to edit that, move it around a bit, again, we can handle that from Outlook, or we can come back in, set it to say Friday, save that, and then when we go back into our CRM, we will see shortly this just jumped to Friday. So we are now going to go and create a quote for this opportunity. So we're going to go ahead and click new quote. And again, these can be raised directly against the company. There's no need to do it from an opportunity. And the first thing you'll notice is it's very similar to what a user of Sage 50 might already be familiar with and expect. So really little training. We've got things like standard items, free text items, additional charges. Again, these are going to pull through from Sage 50 itself. What I'd like to touch on now quickly is the ability to customize the CRM. So you'll see here there's no button. I'm going to go into my settings. I'm going to go into our custom JavaScript option, and I'm going to paste in a very small script that we wrote before. And what that's going to do is it's going to add a line discount of just 10%. And you can really go wild with the customizations for the clients. But this is all we're going to need to just apply a line unit discount of 10%. And I'm going to save that. And I'm going to go back into our opportunity. So that's going to update our CRM system now. So back to the opportunity, pull that back up. I'm going to go and create a new quote again. So you can see our new button here. I'm going to go ahead and add some CDRoms. I'm going to say 3 of those. And again, you'll see lots of familiar features here from Sage 50 itself, so really easy to use. It's going to show us our stock quantities, and it's also going to fetch the price from the price band for this customer. So we're going to save that, and we can keep going, adding more and more if we want to, but I'm going to close that off now, and I'm just going to show the 10% discount working. So we're going to click that, 10% discount applied to all lines. Okay, and that is how easy it is to customize the CRM system. From here, we've got a few different options. We can just save it as it is and come back to it later. We can save and generate the PDF to send to a customer, or modify it locally if we need to. We can also save and email it directly from our Outlook integration. And that's the option I'm going to do now. I'm going to click Save and Email. Now, this waiting for sync that you see is for when you're using orders. What that's going to do is it's going to go back to Sage 50, sync the order, get the order number, and then when it generates its PDF, it's going to use the order numbers from Sage 50, and it's going to use that order number here and in the message body. This template here is completely customizable, and so is my user signature, and I can also add any more attachments and terms and conditions, things like that. But I'm going to go ahead and send that quote out that we've just made. So not only is that going to appear now in my Outlook sent items, but it's also going to appear on that opportunity, so anyone else that looks at it can see it. So this is what's just come through. Have a quick look at the quotation it's generated. You can see it's a really simple quote here, but we can customize this, go as wild as you want. So I'm going to touch briefly on the setup of that email template. If we go back to our settings, we hit documents and quotation, which is what we've just sent out. You can see we can upload a backdrop, so you can mirror your clients' invoices. And there's a few settings for alignments, footer text, things like that, but we'll gloss over that for now. Under the email settings tab, we've got keywords for putting in the order number, their name, things all the way down to the total values of the orders and addresses, anything like that. And again, you can attach files that are always going to be appended, like terms and conditions. So let's go back to the opportunity quick and have a look at what it looks like now for what we've made. As you can see, quotations on the right, the files that we've sent out, and the email communication to the client is right here with the attachment on it. So that gives everyone else full visibility of what you've done with the client, what's been sent out, and what's been discussed. Touching back onto the settings, you can see that that's where we set up the custom fields and the opportunity stages as well, with their certainties assigned to them. So the next thing I'd like to touch on is our live dashboards. Now, the reports can be configured from things like SQL reports, internal CRM reporting, and even S data for Sage 50. Now, we do provide a few built-in reports out of the box, but again, you can come in here, add a new data source, write your own SQL queries, and then post-process that data with JavaScript if you need to. And that gives loads and loads of customization to these dashboards that you can assign to specific users. Now, when it comes to actually building the dashboards, like I say, you can either use our pre-built reports and dashboards, or you can make your own, but they're really simple here. It's a case of adding the widgets that you want, selecting the reports that go along with those widgets, and then even things from having parameters and drill downs from other reports. But let's, for example, we've got this pie chart here. We've set this to be our activity count between two dates. Now, the parameters driving that are our start and end date at the top, and we can set that set to, say, a bar chart and our width. And what that's going to do is it's just going to change the report, and we can add new ones, remove them, add filters, delete dashboards, all that sort of stuff, and all the data's live from whatever data sources you have selected. So I'm going to edit bar mode. Now, we're just going to briefly whiz through the rest of the things on the left here. So starting with cases, this is just a really easy place to log any complaints or issues with your orders. Pretty self-explanatory. Sales is going to be a list of all of our current sales quotes, pro formas, and their statuses, and that's also going to sync back from Sage. So if they're complete, if they're live, or if they're not even been synced across yet, like these ones. Now, if we look at the people, again, really simple, just list of contacts. And if we click into that, it's going to show all our communications with them, any live opportunities, any live notes. Opportunities we've already touched upon, and companies, similar sort of thing, shows any open opportunities and anything that needs to happen. And we'll also fetch the logos from the website that's listed. That is all we've got time to run through today, but there's a load more things we can run through. If anyone would like to go through it more in depth or just have a chat with us about it, please don't hesitate to get in touch. So thank you all for your time, and back to Alan and the rest of the great ISVs today.
Brilliant, thank you.